Chapter 6, Mishnah 8. An ordinary chatas may be either a female lamb or a female goat. The Mishnah discusses whether money set aside with the intention to buy one of these animals may be used to buy the other type. If one had money that was consecrated to use for the purchase of a female lamb for a chatas, one may use that money to bring a female goat instead. Likewise, if one had money that was consecrated to use for the purchase of a female goat for a chatas, one may use that money to bring a female lamb instead. The Mishnah now discusses the variable chatas offering, a korban that is brought in a different form depending on what the owner can afford. If he is wealthy, he brings a female sheep or goat. If he has less money, he brings 2 birds, one brought as an olah and one as a chatas. If he has even less money, he brings a mincha offering of flour. The Mishnah discusses whether funds set aside for one form of the variable chatas can be used for a different form. If one had money consecrated to use for the purchase of a female lamb or goat for a variable chatas, one may use that money to buy a pair of turtle doves or pigeons for a variable chatas. And if one had money consecrated to purchase a pair of turtle doves or pigeons for a variable chatas, one may use that money to buy a tenth of an ephah of fine flour to be brought as the mincha offering of a variable chatas. The Mishnah elaborates, how so? When may money designated for one form of variable chatas be used for a different form if a wealthy person was required to bring a variable chatas, and so he designated money for the purchase of a female lamb or goat, which was the appropriate korban based on his finances, and he became moderately poor so that he is now supposed to bring a pair of birds instead of a lamb or goat. He may use the money he designated to buy and bring bird korbanos, and he leftover funds are chulin, and he may use them for his own benefit. If before he bought the birds, he became so poor that he qualifies to bring a mincha instead of bird korbanos, he may use some of the funds to buy and bring a tenth of an ephah of flour as his mincha. Any leftover funds may be used for his own benefit. The Mishnah discusses the opposite situation. If a very poor person was obligated to bring a variable chatas, and he designated money for purchasing a tenth of an ephah of flour for a mincha, and then he became rich enough to offer bird korbanos instead of a mincha, he should use that money with the addition of more money to buy and bring bird korbanos. If before he bought the birds, he became even wealthier to the point that he can afford a goat or lamb, he should use that money with the addition of more money to buy and bring a female lamb or goat as his chatas. The Mishnah discusses whether the same laws apply to money obtained from redeeming a consecrated animal or bird that became disqualified. The law is that when an animal designated for a korban develops a blemish that disqualifies it from being offered, it must be redeemed. That is, its sanctity is transferred to money, and that money is used to buy another animal to replace the blemished one. The Mishnah discusses a person whose financial status changed before he replaced the blemished animal. A wealthy person designated a female lamb or goat for his variable chatas, and the animal developed a blemish that made it unfit to be offered. The animal must now be redeemed and replaced with another animal. This person then became poor, so that he may now bring birds as his variable chatas. If he wants, he may use some of the money from the redemption of the sheep or goat to buy and bring bird korbanos for his variable chatas. Just as money designated for an animal may be used for birds, so may money from the redemption of an animal be used to buy birds. A similar case. A poor person designated a bird for his variable chatas, and it developed a blemish that made it unfit to be offered. He then became so poor that he may bring flour as a mincha instead of birds. He may not use money from the redemption of the birds to buy and bring 1/10 of an ephah of flour as his variable chatas, because a bird korban does not undergo redemption if it becomes blemished. Therefore, there is no redemption money. Rather, this person must spend other funds to buy a mincha.